concert, I mentioned that 8 students from our middle school band auditioned for the MSBOA District 8 Middle School Honors Band. They auditioned in and among students from schools that are much larger than us, such as Okemos, Tecumseh, East Lansing, schools a lot bigger than us. And I am happy to report that all 8 students that auditioned were accepted into Honors Band this year. Of all the bands in our MSBOA district, we sent the second largest amount of students out of all of the schools. Please join me in congratulating, you're going to stand when I call your name, Lillian Messner, Abby Cook, Scarlett Gifford, Lincoln Mully, Savannah Howard, Cameron Beard, Helena Leitner, and Molly Edmund. This past April, we also had 8 students from our middle school band perform in 9 events for MSBOA Middle School Solo and Ensemble. All of our students earned a Division 1 or 2 ratings, which earns them medals for the event. 3 students performed for their first time at Solo and Ensemble. 5 of the events earned perfect scores, which means that they earned A's in all 5 captions. Please join me in congratulating Kaylin Lay, Alexis Vilas, Lillian Messner, Abby Cook, Lincoln Mully, Helena Leitner, Molly Emily, and Owen Sandberg. Performed at MSBOA State Festival a couple of weeks ago, and they earned a Division 2 rating, which is the rating of excellent. So they the entire rating is to be graduated, first of all, for making it to the state level and for receiving a medal at State Festival. Welcome our middle school band and their performance of Brace for Impact by Christina Huss.
Roll call.
Many of these students have been a part of our band family for 7 years, which is no small feat, as there are so many things that could have pulled them away, but they chose to stick it out. They deserve lots of praise for their dedication and full commitment to their peers, this program, and their own personal musical journey. and is not afraid to make sure the others are dialed in too. Ariana will be attending Jackson College in the fall to become a paramedic. Bo Leitner. Despite what many have been led to believe, this is, in fact, Bo's real senior year. He had several students convinced that last year was his true senior year. Bo is really good. I don't know if he understands that about himself, but truly, Bo, you are really good. He's a great player, a fun person to have in the clarinet section, and has been a talented tenor drum player from time to time. My hope for him is that he fully believes in himself and his talent, and that it takes him to new heights in his career. It is not easy being the youngest, I know about that, but trust that you are not anyone's shadow. You are a standout in every way. Bo will be attending Grand Valley State University in the fall to pursue a career in engineering. Bo Leitner. Allison Paul. Allie has brought amazing spunk to this color guard section and clarinet section. She is happy and excited about almost everything every day, as you can tell. She never comes to rehearsal in a bad mood. Even if she was in a bad mood, you would never know it because her energy is so positive. She has been a friend to everyone in her section and a light that they and I will miss in the years to come. Allie will be attending LCC in the fall to pursue a career in the medical field. Allie Paul. Alyssa Cooley. Alyssa is a very talented yet quiet leader, and she has been a great example of doing whatever it takes to stay in band, even when the extra classes and scheduling challenges did not make it easy for her. Alyssa is a very fast learner. I remember the first lessons with her as a 9th grader. She was a natural in everything I had her do. Her ability to advance so quickly has amazed and impressed her section and myself time and time again. After high school, Alyssa plans to enlist in the Navy and pursue a college degree after her military service. Alyssa Cooley. Daniel Dyson. Daniel has been such a natural leader to this group. He has been my go-to person anytime I needed a student leader to step in and take over so that I could go take care of whatever needed my attention. I appreciate his character and his sense of humor. He was a part of the pep band dance parties and made an excellent street preacher a couple of times when we were coming into the room. I admire his ability to lead and yet be able to keep things light and fun at the same time. He knows when to be serious and dig into the task, and he knows exactly when to tell a joke. Daniel, we love you too. Daniel plans to study to become an electrician in the fall. Daniel Dyson. Now we finish with the salute to our seniors, the alma mater. And then I have a special announcement when we're done. They have been waiting and waiting and waiting for. I promise this is the last thing because I know it's warm. I know. About a week and a half ago, I did something really different for me anyway. I gave them 3 marching band shows to choose from. I think they're all great, but I couldn't decide. And so I said, well, they're the ones that have to play it. I'm drawing this out just a little bit, I'm really sorry. I said, they're the ones that have to play it, so let them choose.